Does this high school look anything like what we left 50 years ago?
That corner right there I recognize down there.
Okay, the corner down there that's still one
Well, I
story?
mean, I think that's part of the original building. All this is like totally 50 years post.
What's it like standing in front of Mundelein High School 50 years after we graduated?
It's profound. Because I haven't been in that building in 50 years. So the last time I was in that building would have been January 20th something, 1974.
Okay,
because I graduated early, and then I headed off to boot camp a couple of weeks later, and I haven't stepped in since. I've been here and driven around, walked around, and taken pictures on a visit or two. I had students up there who were shouting at me and waving and stuff, but I have never been in, so I'm curious to see what it looks like.
You will be amazed.
Yeah, I'm wondering how much of what I remember is still there and how much is gone, how much is new.
Okay, so what do you think? Now you're inside the building. Are you in shock?
Yeah, I am. It looks like they're decorating for Christmas.
Yeah, they're decorating for the homecoming dance tonight.
Oh, okay.
Which is going to be in the cafeteria, which is still down there. I believe, see where the gray paint and the white paint is on the wall? I believe that was the original front wall of the building. This was the end of the original wall that they started building out from.
Okay.
And you know, if you look in our old yearbook pictures, you can see this gray checked.
Okay.
You know, the doors right here. Remember the Audion? That was right. You know, the little small auditorium. That's the Audion right in there.
Okay. Is there anything there now?
You know, I don't know. Wonder if it's open. It's locked. It's locked. They don't want to let the riffraff in, I guess. But.
Welcome back to Mundelein High School. Thank you for being here. It's great to see you all, and my name is Mike Souza. I am currently the interim principal. First of all, I know we have a big group from the class of 74. Will you guys raise your hands? Yes. 50-year reunion. Congratulations. You guys look great. I hope you're feeling great. You guys all look great. No, you all look great. You guys are awesome.
Did you coordinate most of this? Or?
It was a whole team of us.
Oh, okay.
You know, I have the list of all the names. So, you know, like I did the mailings and things like that. But
Okay. How did you get chosen? Are you volunteer?
It's happened over the past 15, 20 years.
Oh, wow.
You know, it's evolved. It's evolved.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the cafeteria.
Now is this the same?
It is the same as when we were here.
Again, Stacy Gorman. Been here 24 years, done a whole bunch of different things. I taught social studies for a long time, department chair, assistant principal, and now assistant superintendent. And I love to talk about this building, and I love being here. So Mr. Souza is going to cut me off when he is seeing that I'm losing my audience. Okay?
Stacy likes to talk.
I love it, and I love to talk about Mundelein High School. This is probably very, very familiar. So this was one of the original footprints of the building. We opened in 1961, I think. And so we have most of our students eat in here. Some of our upperclassmen do go out for lunch. We still have the chocolate chip cookies. We have 4 lines, deli, and soup, and the regular kind of lunch cafeteria food like meatloaf and, instant mashed potatoes, which is maybe some of the things that you ate.
Mystery meat.
A few things about science labs. We've added a lot of equipment for safety, and so the technology has given us those opportunities. Kids always have to wear their glasses when they're doing their lab work. Other things that you might have seen as you came in is we have students put their cell phones in the cubbies.
Oh, yeah.
So we're getting there.
Not politically correct anymore, but it's still here.
So here's what's left of the courtyard.
I believe there is.
And now I have a microphone. It actually doesn't make me louder, but it sounds like I'm going to be famous on YouTube. I always wanted to be an influencer. Okay. Just kidding. All right, so this is our C wing, and this was started in 2013 with construction, and we finished up at about 2016. This was funded not with a referendum, but it was funded with a partial grant from the state that we applied for and district funds. It's always a question that I have is like, wait, did you ask for money back then? No, we didn't. We did this on our own, which is very exciting. This is amazing space. There's a couple things that you're going to see that really, I think, will be impressive to you. Number one, I have a love-hate relationship with this conference room. So when you see it, it is so beautiful. But when I'm meeting there, I have to look at the courtyard and put my back to everything else because kids will go by and they'll wave, especially if I'm in there with popular teachers, and then they're very excited. So we call this the fishbowl conference room. I know, but it is amazing, and it's used for lots of different things. One thing that we're very committed to was flexible spacing. And so flexible learning, opportunities, the desk, the furniture, we all wanted it to be able to move it around. And so there's lots of different configurations. If you want kids to, take a test, these can go automatically in rows. They can quickly move them. If they want to be in groups, they can quickly move them together to have those group discussions. I love it when my admin assistant years ago said, I have to order some mice. Will you approve that? I'm like, what are you talking about? It was my first year. She was like, they need mice for anatomy. I'm like, okay, sure. Order the mice. Cheaper than textbooks. Okay, so this is our science lab, and what you'll see here, again, with that commitment to flexible spacing, is we have so they do their experiments on these lab tables, and we have the tall chairs. Honestly, a lot of kids just like to stand and do their experiments. Their experiments are in groups, but if they want to sit, they can. And so this is amazing. As you can see, there's so many kinds of, the tools and the materials that they need. And so when you compare it to the space downstairs, this was a commitment, is to make sure that we had all this space for their lab experiments. If you look back here, this is a mess. It's a mess on purpose because it is a robotics area. And so students are building all kinds of things back here. One of my favorite days of the year is when there's a whole track set up here, and the students have to race their bots. So they have to go up and down and curve and those kinds of things. And the coolest thing that I saw when they were doing that was when it wouldn't work. And they had to go back to their groups, and they had to think, okay, why is it not working? What do I have to code differently? And that was the amazing part. And we talk about Mundelein High School preparing kids, for life outside of these walls. That's an example. It's not getting the right answer all the time. It is what you do when it fails, and you have to regroup with your team and come up with a new idea. Right over here is we have a nanotechnology microscope. So when you wonder, what are those weird pictures, but there are only 12 nanotechnology programs in the country, and Mundelein High School has one of them. I know. Probably looks very similar as when you were here. So we have 5 choirs. And I don't know if you had that many when you were here. And we have 2 show choirs. And our show, we have a varsity show choir, if you will, and then kind of a junior varsity show choir. They are very, very good. If you notice the trophies back there, there are so many more in storage because we didn't have anywhere else to put them. That is a true statement.
This was our original English hall back in the day. And what they have done is, I believe the students had a hand in this. They decorated all of the walls with their favorite book covers and titles to make it a little bit interesting and give it a little bit more character.
Well, there's a lot of favorite memories, but my one sports favorite memory was I beat the first singles player from Lake Forest High School while his dad watched on from a sports car in the parking lot. And at Lake Forest High School, they had girl scorekeepers in the middle of the court. I beat the kid. His name was Steve Stewart. And he went to Vanderbilt and played tennis at he lettered in tennis at Vanderbilt, but I beat him. And because of that, Mundelein finished ahead of Libertyville in the conference in tennis.
Hey, Bill, another memory that some Mundelein kids, especially the freshmen, might have is that the upperclassmen would try to sell us elevator passes. And I see people nodding back here, and it's like, oh yes, but you know what? They can't do that anymore because there is an elevator, and there is an elevator. Ooh, shall we go up?
Sure.
Let's see what happens. I wonder if we can.
So I got my elevator pass with me.
Okay. Well, let's see where we go. Let's go to floor
Come on in,
2.
Jill. All right. Something we never did when we were students here.
Let's
Get into an elevator.
Let's see if this will take us up to floor 2. I don't know. Maybe, you know, you may not need an elevator pass, but you might need a key to make it work.
Or maybe try hit door close.
No, they got, oh man, they're on to us.
Oh well, nice try.
Okay, but there is an elevator and it does, oh, uh-oh.
Now we're never going to the detention level.
We're going up.
The detention center. They'll be back on Monday to get us out.
Oh, heaven help us. All right, open sesame.
All right, cool, here we are.
Okay, and they have a whole, I see some of our people in there. They have a whole library media center in here. When I was here last time, they were telling me they have areas where students can help tutor other students. They have some video equipment in one of the side rooms over there where they are teaching things like video editing. They've got a lot of stuff covered up here.
Okay, this is the old dark room. Oh, you know what? Let's see if this still works.
Is that something? Yeah.
Yes, we used to do that all the time. Mr. Green would not be happy with that.
No.
These were the cupboards that had I believe had the
chemicals.
The chemicals in where was the paper? Oh, was the paper stored above the enlarger?
I think so, yes.
Yeah, now this is bigger than it used to be.
Yeah, I recall this being smaller and certainly didn't have a
were you
window.
in this room?
Yep.
Yes, a lot.
Oh yeah, I spent a lot of time in here. Yeah, it came to about here, I think, back then. And there was another, there might have been shelves, might have been cabinets here. Maybe the enlarger was right here. It was a beautiful thing with a motorized trolley, to take it up and down.
I think it was like a Besler 45 enlarger, if you remember those. That was like Mr. Green had like the best stuff. It was kind of like the standard enlarger back in those days.
The safe light would have been up there. Yeah, and then here's the sink. This is where we would put our chemicals. We'd have the 3 trays.
Yeah.
Developer, stop, and fixer. And you know what? I think weren't the chemicals down below?
Maybe they were, yeah.
Because remember, what did we used
Keep
deck
paper
tack.
up here?
We might have kept paper up there. I'm not sure if it was there or in here.
That's right.
On
It was
which side?
Dectal Developer for print, so it was D76 for film.
Yep.
Yeah.
And and then over here we had a rack. We'd hang the negative strips, with you'd sponge them off, and then you'd have paper clips on, clothespins on the end to hold them down, to keep them straight, and they would dry there. Oh, and then the print dryer was over here, with the chrome sheet on it, and then the canvas that you went over, and it would heat it up and.
You had to squeegee the thing out,
Yep.
and it had to be just the right amount of wetness to have a nice glossy finish. If you messed it up, you didn't get that glossy finish.
I know, it never worked.
It never worked.
Okay, this auditorium is where we spent our last moments as graduating seniors. All the chairs and everything were in here. Everybody was observing. The senior class was coming in the doors that are behind you, on either side, filing into their seats. And a few of us were still out in the hallway in the back. And all of a sudden, somebody yelled, "Streaker!" No one ever fessed up to it. We don't know who it was.
It didn't get caught.
Didn't get caught, but
Yeah.
it was there. And more than just me remembers it, so it wasn't my imagination 50 years later.